So welcome to this AIU Symposium on Is the Universe Alive? Yes, the universe is alive. Are you? So as I look around and I see your pictures and your faces on the screen, are you alive? Show me you're alive.
Yes.
Hey, doctor, I'm alive.
Yes.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
I'm alive.
Yes, your parents
I'm
from
alive.
Nigeria. I'm alive.
What does your heart sound like?
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
Jesus' name, amen.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
Everybody to make a sound of their heart beating.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
I'm also alive.
I'm alive. I love you all.
I'm alive.
Life is also a celebration. And it's wonderful to be alive. It's wonderful to
My
have
Dr. Lambert, are you alive?
we live our lives, we live our stories, and we move
My
on.
Dr. Lambert, are you alive?
Hello, Mercy Opara.
Hi,
Okay, we're going to
everyone.
continue on now with our
Are you
next
alive,
presenter.
Dr. Lambert?
Okay, you'll probably all have to mute your
I'm
microphones
alive.
now.
I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive.
Hey,
I'm alive.
Hey, alive.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
I'm alive.
Alive and well. So now we're going to go on to our next presenter, who is Alces Dor from the Turks and Caicos Islands, and has done a doctorate in psychology. So let's get Alces up and ready to activate your microphone. Oh, there you are. Hello. Can you move your camera down a little bit so we can see more of you? There we go. Looks good. Go ahead and talk so we make sure your microphone is working.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Lambert.
Perfect.
All right, I'm going to share my screen right now.
Okay, everybody, you're now in the hands of Alces Dor.
All right, you have to able me.
Let me see. You should have. Oh no, you don't have. Now you have a permission. Okay, the presentation is on its way up. Now remember, if you have questions, you can write them into chat, or you can raise your hand on the screen. Can you see your presentation open in your computer?
Yeah, it is open in my computer. Now let's see. From your end. Okay, let me share.
Here it comes. I see it.
Okay, how do we do?
You ready to go?
All right, wonderful. All right, thank you, Dr. Lambert, Dr. Valsin. Thank you very much, faculty and staff members, fellow students around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant good day to you. My name is Alces Dor. I was born in Haiti, and for the past 27 years, I live in the Turks and Caicos Islands, beautiful by nature. I am pursuing a doctorate degree in clinical psychology with AIU. And so I am honored and privileged to address this symposium today under this wonderful theme. The universe is alive. Are you? Human beings are the essential living ingredients that the universe needs to function effectively. We are the unique creature that the Almighty God conferred his power and authority to dominate over his creation. We are created with identity, authority, dominance, and purpose. And one account of creation, according to Genesis chapter 1:26, then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and that he rules over the fish of the sea, over the birds, over the heaven, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over all the creeping things that crawl on the earth." Therefore, to achieve our leadership mission, we must learn to appreciate and love our fellow men, regardless of race, creed, religion, and orientation whatsoever. We must appreciate our environment, and we must cherish our planet. We must do so because dominion comes with great responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, we can maximize our potential. We have the ability to maximize our potential. However, one thing we must recognize is that the world is loaded with so many deterrent elements to success. Now, I want to share with you some of the elements that are considered as deterrent to your success. The first deterrent element to your success is criticism. Many of you have been already on the ladder of success, but when critics hit you, you drop down and potentially abandoned your dream. Let me submit to you. Critics were in existence before you were even born. And there will always be critics as we live on this planet Earth. And so, being alive is not avoiding criticism, because it is simply impossible. Being alive is learning how to receive criticism and sublimate it with love, honesty, forgiveness, and a sense of humor. It is very unfortunate that many people would rather be ruined by praise than saved by criticism. I must tell you, I know only 3 ways you can avoid criticism. And I want to share it with you. I am going to call them. And if you don't see the feasibility of the avoidance, I want you please to thumb down or you thumb up. All right. Avoiding criticism, number 1, be nothing. Unfortunately, I cannot see if you are up or down, but all right. All right, number 1, anyway, number 1 is be nothing. Number 2, say nothing. Number 3, do nothing. Well, if you sum down, now that we all agree, criticism is unavoidable. So do not allow it to ruin your success. Deterrent number 2 is fear. What is fear and what does it do? The acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. The Greek word phobos means phobia, dread, and terror. Webster says, it is a painful feeling of impending danger, anxiety, to be afraid or cause panic. According to research, fear triggers over 1,400 chemical and physical responses and activates more than 30 hormones and neurotransmitters. So fear can then produce worry and anxiety. It is therefore the root of all stress. When fear provokes a reaction of stress, it actually marinates the body with toxic chemical. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 John chapter 4, verse 18 summarizes, fear is torment. Quote, there is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. So fear is a vain imagination that becomes real to you. And if left unchecked, it will become a stronghold that controls your life. Therefore, it is a deterrent to your success. The 32nd president of the United States of America, Mr. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, said, quote, we have nothing to fear but fear itself, end quote. In another account, the wise philosopher Solomon famously stated in Proverbs 29, verse 25, the fear of men lays a snare, but he who trusts in the Lord is protected. So fear is like a spirit that needs a body to carry out its assignment. This depicts the idea that fear needs faith to execute its duty, but it does not have the faith. So it seals your faith to harm yourself when you allow it. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow students, you can overcome fears. And overcoming fears makes you victorious. How can we overcome fear? There are two groups of people living on our planet Earth. Those who overcome fear to reach their full potential, and those who are cowardly and succumb to fear. This irrefutable truth is demonstrated in one account of Numbers chapter 13, verse 27 through 33. One squad of people was commissioned by Moses to spy on the land of Canaan. So 12 persons were dispatched for one mission and faced the same situation. Yet, two different reports were brought back to Moses. Let's talk about the first group of people I just mentioned. The first group of people that I call the coward group consisted of 10 negative, narrow-minded people. They reported to Moses, "We went to the country where you sent us. In truth and reality, it is a land flowing with milk and honey. And here are the fruits. But the people who inhabit this country are powerful. The cities are fortified and very large. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants. And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. And so we were in their sight." Let me submit to you, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. The way you see yourselves determines the dimension of your success in life. Now, the second group of people, which I call the minority, which consisted of only two brave and overcomers' minds in the person of Caleb and Joshua. They silenced the people who murmured against Moses. He said, "We should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it," according to Numbers 13, verse 30th. In other words, he said, "Let us go up, seize the country. We will be victorious there." Let me tell you, it is not always the majority that brings positive results, but those with overcomer attitudes do. Now, if we look at it, the only difference between these two groups was the attitude. 10 of them saw the situation with the eye of fear. And the other two gentlemen, Caleb and Joshua, saw the situations with the eye of faith. It is reported that before the age of high technology, a shoe company in California sent 2 men to my islands to explore business opportunities there. As soon as they arrived, one of them sent a telegram to his headquarters to say, "Hurry up, remove me from the islands because no one here wears shoes." But the other gentleman sent a telegram to his headquarters stipulating, "Hurry up, send me 10,000 pairs of shoes. Why? Because everyone here needs shoes. The reality is, while the eye of fear sees impossibility in every opportunity, the eye of faith sees opportunity in every impossibility. The famous Winston Churchill said, "The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, but the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty." You are alive to overcome obstacles on the way to your destiny. One thing that hinders you from reaching your full potential is the scarcity of taking risk because you don't want to fail. I want to submit to you, taking risks is necessary to make success in life. Everything in life involves risks. To laugh is to risk appearing the fool. To weep is the risk of appearing sentimental. To reach out to others is to risk involvement. To explore your feelings is to risk exploring your true self. To share your thoughts and ideas and dreams with others is to risk rejection. To love another is to risk being loved in return. To live is to risk dying, and to hope is to risk despair. Therefore, risks are necessary in life. You are alive to make a positive impact on the universe. Self-worth is an important virtue. Knowing who you are helps you understand your purpose on earth. Then you will understand your task, which is to influence the universe that the Lord has made. I want to share with you my personal story. A few years ago, I was in Colorado Springs to complete my master's degree in AIU psychology and theology. My studies took me to Nicaragua for a mission trip. When I arrived there, I surveyed a beautiful country with beautiful people, but the mindset was poor. I lectured a group of young people about self-value. I told the audience, you are not who people say you are, because no one can ever value you except you. You are not what your best friends or your worst enemies say you are, because your friends can value you today and devalue you tomorrow when they become your enemies. You are not what your circumstances or situations say you are, because you are not driven by situations or circumstances, but your Heavenly Father gives you the ability to master them. So far, so good, until I said, you are not poor. Then the whole atmosphere changed. Because what on earth you can tell young people and the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, they are not poor. In their minds, it seemed to be fictitious. And so I started losing the attention of the audience. Noticing that I am in trouble, I pulled up my life story. I told them, it seems to be fictitious that I say you are not poor because your country is poor. But let me tell you, I was born in the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, Haiti. But today, I become a champion among the world's champions. Why? Because I did not allow the country I was born in. I did not allow circumstances. I did not allow race and nationality define my value. But I put my faith in the Almighty God who controls the universe. Here I am today to say to you, we are not poor because our Father owns the heavens and earth, and he wants us to be well. Ladies and gentlemen, here I say to you, I am delighted to declare to you today, as living souls, we're not ugly, because we are created in the perfect image and likeness of our Creator. We are not black. We are not white, yellow, red, or brown. Why? Because God alone knows our true origin. We are not Africans. We are not Americans. We are not Asians or Europeans. Because when we measure our value to a particular ethnic group, then we only live up to the expectations of that group. So I say to you, our expectations go far beyond ethnicity and nationality because we have unlimited potential. You are only whom God says you are. And you can do anything God says you can do. You are unique. In fact, when you were born, the genius of God exploded and made the person the world has never seen before. And will never see again when you leave this world. You were born to do good. You were born to succeed. You were born to bless the lives of others. Therefore, you must learn to measure your dreams and visions to the dimension of the universe. The universe is alive. So are we. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Alces Dor. Powerful words of wisdom, powerful words of life. Thank you so much. Please, questions for Alces Dor. We have Acacio Edu, hand up, and Friday, a Modu woman. Let me ask Acacio first to unmute your microphone. If you can. see that you don't have video capability. Okay, go ahead and speak, Akasio Edu.
Yes, understand.
Can you turn up your volume a little bit?
Yes, I understand. I'm good with you. Hello.
Okay, go ahead. What is your question or comment?
But my comment is, please, I have a problem with my camera. My question is, we are talking about the universe is alive, but you must focus, the universe is not focusing on theoretical context, but it could also have a social and economical sense when you realize that the universe is not alive because we have a natural catastrophe. We have many problems that destroy our program and projects for the future. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
For the future, but that I want to try to say that in the last time I was very occupied by my profession at work, but I just see my message from my email. That I want to try to talk to everybody is that currently we can not put allies the universe because the world is a problem. You must work very hard to resolve the problem that we face every day in our lives. When we say the universe is alive, my interpretation for that is as we escape from the problem that we may resolve and we may resolve to a condition the life of the life for the future generation. In my personal opinion, I can say the universe is alive because alive working. First, alive working. When we are work, you do that for that is beneficial for other generations. That could be beneficial for people who escape from the problem. And the theoretical context, I agree with that idea. The universe is alive because God created the nature without any commission for us. And all that we must do today is to protect the nature, the environment, the population that compose the universe. And that concerns to the education, you must focus on the future generation because the education is the single ingredient for us. It won't allow us to
I think
control.
at this point, we'll go ahead and turn the question over to Alces Dor because I think he has an answer.
Please come again.
Alces Dor, can you speak?
I'm here. Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yes,
Waiting for the question. I'm waiting for the question.
You are waiting for me. My question. That I'm great with you because I'm sharing your idea. Is very concerned to my opinion. My question is, if the world can develop without be it fair without the intervention of the region, because when we act, all our actions that we are doing we must be fair first and have the region to prevent the the bad consequence and bad impact for the future generations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Acacio. Thank you. I think your intervention was more of sharing ideas and thought instead of the questions. But anyway, thank you. And what I can add is that we are living in a falling world. Therefore, we will always face circumstances in life, but we have to always face life with a positive mind. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
can I come in? Yeah.
Francis,
Francis.
you
Yes.
want to go ahead? Go ahead.
Yes.
Let's try
Thank
to
you
keep
very
our
much.
questions to about a minute or two.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Right. The whole concept, I think, from my understanding, is we are looking at a world that has living beings, right? And we also looking at a world that is constantly evolving. The globosphere is changing. Climate change is happening. We're having a world where we're discovering new living creatures every day, and the cosmos is almost like limitless. So from these perspectives, I think we're looking at an evolving world, a living world. That was my understanding of this topic. Now, when we bring in the element of God, God from a Christian perspective, as would want to look at, will be the infinite God, the God who knows everything, the God who can do everything, omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscience. But then the question here is, nobody knows the mind of God. Nobody knows the mind of God. So if we don't know the mind of God, what is the relationship, therefore, between humans in the world and being live in this universe as against what God will plan? It will be difficult to link the two. So I think we should look at this discussion as what would be man's role in evolving or improving on what we have acquired from a living God and from a living world. What are we going to do to change it? What are we going to do to improve it? And what are we going to do to ensure that subsequent generations, will be well taken care of and it's protected? That's my understanding of what we should be looking at as a living world and what we can do. God is going to be there from eternity to eternity, and is giving us all the faculties for us to think and to create. So what are we doing to make this world a better place? What are we doing to improve on our living conditions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question and your comments. First of all, you must believe in something. If you don't believe in God, you must believe in something. If you live in this life and you don't believe in anything, it means that you're not alive. Every human being has to believe in something. If there is nothing else to believe in yourself. Or believe in the nature, believe in your fellow man. All these elements are necessary for us to make a positive impact of this world on the universe that we're living in. Thank you.
Okay, that Dr. Lumer, to piggyback on Francis's
We'll go to Felton.
Yeah, to piggyback on Francis' section about belief, the universe is already alive. The universe being alive millions of years back, or before us individual or human appear. But then what is our unique contribution to this universe? The speaker is saying that I, as a contributor, have to believe in myself, even if there is no God. I should believe in myself of that creation. Who am I? Let's look it out from the tech side of things. Look at technologies. Let's take technology today and go back 40 years. What did they do for the universe? Not much, but yet it contributed. Today, let's look at technology. We all are connected to this platform because of technology. Where does it come from? It comes from ourselves, it comes from our thought. Who gave us those infinite thoughts of thinking? It is God. That one person you believe in yourself. who could be yourself or who could be the infinite God, the omnipotent, the Alpha, the Omega from the Christian point, or whatever, right? So I think if the universe is alive, how can we make this universe alive with our different learnings? What is it that we do? What our contribution is in our space of studies? He did psychology. What are you doing? Mathematics? Are you doing sciences? You're doing. So what is it that this university is going to get from us as part of as being a part of it? That is my own contribution and
Alces
question.
Dor.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Felton. And I appreciate your comment, which complete my presentation. I don't want to turn this symposium to a theological forum. I want to follow the protocol established. That's why I don't want to go too far with my response to the previous caller. But from my personal perspective, I am a firm believer. I believe in God. When I talk about the universe, the central person I see is God. However, everybody is different. It is not something I can coerce somebody on. So we all have different opinion, but I can convey my firm belief, and is that I believe there is a God that controls the universe. Thank you.
Okay, we'll now go to Friday Imoluaman. Go ahead and ask your question and keep it to about a minute or two.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Alces Dor. Thank you, Dr. Lambert.
Thank you.
Yes, the world, the universe is alive, but we as an individual, what are we doing in our individual life to keep this universe to be alive continuously? In the sense, how do we coexist with one another? And this is where I believe that peaceful coexistence, we have a long way to contribute to keep the universe alive. Otherwise, we'll just be looking at a vague war. If there are wars here and there, fighting, confusion, we cannot say the universe is alive. So what do you think we as an individual, let me just say, from different continents of the world, should do and should continue to do to keep the universe alive, so that we as an individual, we can continuously benefit from the universe and from the things that have been made available. Number two, you talked about that God wants us to dominate. Yes, it is true, but we have personal responsibility to carry out. We cannot expect manna to fall from heaven. We cannot say because God has said you will have this, then we'll go and fold our hands, expecting those things to come. I don't think it will happen. We need to play our role. We need to try to make the universe what it ought to be. And once again, I want to thank you for your great presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I believe, and you may agree with me that we as human beings, we are the most important ingredients on earth. If we agree with this, then we can conclude to say that if we are to make a great contribution toward the universe we're living in, I think our first duty is to love and appreciate our fellow men. Because without us, I mean, without men, both men and women, so without men, the universe cannot function effectively. So if there are a lot of things that we can do to contribute to the well-being of the universe. But my personal opinion is that we need to love our fellow men, regardless of race, origin, religion, love everyone. And then if you can love your fellow man, then it will trigger you to make other contributions. How about have the total respect for the environment? Do you plant a tree? Do you respect the nature? Do you respect the environment? Do you make any contribution to the environment where you live? All these things can be your contributions to the well-being of the universe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I was the second one to raise my hand, but it is unfortunate that everyone decided to overtake.
I'm very sorry. It is not me, it is Dr. Lambert.
All right. Steering the ship. Thank you so much for wonderful, well-detailed, well thought of presentation, quite provocative. As the previous speakers have said, the presentation is mainly based on detailed Christian theological background. And I'm quite surprised that I didn't hear you mentioning fear not, for I am with you. But now how would you respond to an atheist, a non-believer, who tells you that your God is not my God? I do not believe in what you're saying because our belief system is not the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for your wonderful question. I don't control man. Every man controls him or herself. I can present myself as a firm believer, as a man of faith, but you can present yourself as an atheist. All right, if you do, what should I say about that? Well, you believe in yourself. And that's why I said previously, if you don't believe in anything else, believe in yourself. And then life will tell you the difference.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Yeah, I think to one extent, Alces Dor, you're studying clinical psychology. So attitude, what your beliefs are really affect your life.
Exactly.
And I want to come in there, Dr. Lambert and Alces. I think the driving force of this conversation depends on the mindset, right? What makes one to believe there's a God? It is your mindset. It is your orientation. It is your teaching. It is what environment you find yourself. So even being an atheist it comes to realize that you depend on your independent decision you make towards the environment. Whether there is a God, there is not a God, but you have that decision that you have a belief, and that belief brings out what you think you want to achieve. So I want to believe that our contribution to the universe, wherein there is a creator, but the 100% of our contribution depends on our set of mind, our thought of mind. What is our contribution to this universe? Does it come from my contribution to these 17 developmental goals? Or like I said, what impact my community, what impact my society have got achieving from me as an individual? That's played a key role in this discussion and our contribution to the universe. Thank you.
Exactly. This is what I will call your worldview. Your worldview will determine your action. Your worldview will always determine your approach, your contributions to the world, to the universe.
Very well.
Okay, let's go on to Hamda Milkeso.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lambert. And thank you, Dr. Alces Dor. I'm from Ethiopia. I'm a civil engineering student. I'm very happy on the presentation by Dr. Alces Dor on the psychology. Really, I have a question about the universe. Of course, this deep psychology presentation we have presented. Thank you for his presentation and his clarification too. The universe is alive. While the universe is alive, the key driver for the universe alive is the human being. But because the God have given a special knowledge to drive the universe and to assess what is going in the universe rather than the other living organisms like living animals. Like the key role driver is the human being. So as a human being, some of them will be affected by the circumstance or the situation surrounding their universe, local universe. They are affected by their local universe, and some of them have a broad knowledge to escape from that universe. So as the dear presenter, what do you think? How can people just escape from the fear, that means the false imagination which is taken as a real, affecting our life? How can we escape from this problem? The other issue, how a people can not be affected with a circumstance and not be just assigned as the situation, a temporary situation that we can have a tendency to overcome such problem. Will you just clarify for us? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hamda, for this wonderful question. Hamda, as far as I am concerned, we are living in a fallen world. Therefore, there will be problems, circumstances. And there is a phenomenon we call in psychology nature nurture. If it's not nature, then it could be nurtured. What is the environment that you face? I am in the Caribbean. Maybe what I face in the Caribbean, this is not what you face where you are in Africa. And it goes on. But everywhere we are as human beings, we will face circumstances. Now, when it comes to fear, let me submit to you, as opposed to the common beliefs that fear is very bad, but from a psychological perspective, fear is not always bad. Fear sometimes can be the response of your body to exterior attack. That's why we have a phenomenon we call fight or flight. It is when you face danger, imminent danger, then your stress level will rise up and indicate, your mind will indicate you whether to face the situation or to take other action. So it is not always bad. But when you let fear overtake you, now you lose control. It has become at a severe stage. Now, this is where it is real bad. It will cause depression and you are in trouble. That's why we need to face life with a very positive mindset. Know that we can do it. We can do it, no matter what the circumstance is. We have the ability as human beings, because we are born with some faculties that nothing else have. But we as human beings have on this planet Earth. That's why now I really, really want to distance myself from a apologetic debate on God or atheists. But what I can say, we all can agree that we are born with specific ability as human beings to do extraordinary things on earth. So if we can recognize who we are and we can apply what we have as ability, as potential in us, I mean, we can achieve great things. Then we will have the courage and strength to face fears and any other circumstance in life. Thank you.
You know, there are some students that have a fear of submitting assignments. So when it comes to submitting an assignment, they said, now, did I get the bibliography right? Did I include an introduction? Did I say what I wanted to say? Did I format it correctly? Is it long enough? And they doubt themselves and they go back and edit it. But whenever I see an assignment that's been submitted, I think the student overcame their fear.
Thank you. That's a good one.
Now, we have to move on now to the next presenter, Alces Dor.
Thank you very much, fellow students. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Lambert, Dr. Valson. Thank you very much for the opportunities.
And thank you very much for shining your light into this symposium, the light of life.
Thank you.
All right.